always on the go, but the day just won't be one without your Hollywood fix. Let Golden State Media Concepts Entertainment Podcast take care of that. Jordan and Keith is Entertainment Tonight meets Access Hollywood.
I'm Jordan. The guy laughing, that's Keith.
Yeah, I'm Keith.
An all-inclusive look of pop culture.
Welcome, everyone, to the Golden State Media Concepts Entertainment Podcast. I'm your host, Pauline.
And I'm Taejha.
And we wanted to start off this episode discussing, of course, how could we not, the Kardashian
Just always
group.
something, so many of them.
So, in most recent, actually Tuesday, so just a few days ago, Khloe Kardashian has launched her new denim line in conjunction with Good American Denim. So it's a brand that is made here in the United States in LA. So it's a hometown brand, which is cool. I like that part. I love that. And it's sold exclusively online.
GoodAmerican.com.
GoodAmerican.com, as well as in a few Nordstrom stores.
Yes, I would assume most likely the prestige ones.
Like
in
LA.
Yeah. Maybe New York.
Maybe a New York one. Yeah. Exactly.
But the Beverly Center for sure.
And so, but you can order the jeans as well online at Nordstrom.com. So there's a few different ways that you can, and I went online just this morning because I wanted to see if they were sold out yet. But they are still available. And basically the line,
I think they're still available because of what we're going to be talking about.
Right. And so the line, which I love this idea, is that Khloe wanted to start a denim line that would be for girls of all shapes and sizes.
Yeah,
so
they wanted to cater to, as their like little slogan, the curvier, sexier, and stronger in shape.
Right. And so, but I do like the fact that she doesn't leave out more petite girls as well. So because the line is from size 0 to 24, which is awesome. So,
and even some of the girls that she's used to campaign, she's used Kylie's friend Jordan, which is she's a little more plus size in the modeling world per se, as well as Khloe's. But there is also another girl who's skinnier.
Yeah, so they do have some for the line will accommodate girls who are more petite, but then the big and main idea was to take care of the girls who wear plus size clothing, and so
who are of all curvy size, because that becomes a problem for certain women with curves. It's like your pants might fit you at your waist, but they don't fit you at your hips.
I've always, I was going to say,
or
I've
you
always
have
had that
bulging
problem.
area that pops out right at your waist.
And so, and I'm like, I'm tall. I don't think
and
I'm
that
tall, but
that becomes a problem too. Some people are taller, curvier, shorter, and curvier. So there's a lot of dimensions to people in size for jeans.
And I've always, especially, have always had like a problem with like my backside is like getting the jeans to fit up over and to fit nicely. And you always have to deal with like wearing like a belt or things like that. And so there are a few things that, and I know that girls of all shapes and sizes deal with this, because then you also have the problem with like saggy butt. I always call it saggy butt. Yeah. When, so
like you weren't trying to go for the boyfriend jean apparent.
Right. And so Khloe decided that she wanted to be part of this movement for body inclusion, so of all body shapes and sizes. And so she started this line with Good American. There's 3 different types of jeans. Type. So there's good legs, which is more of like the skinny jeans
like the
idea.
Fits, 3 different fits.
And then there's good cuts, which is the boyfriend style, and then good waist, which is a more high-waisted look, which I love high-waisted jeans. Personally, I just love them. But so it all sounds good and great because, she's trying to include more body styles. She's giving us, and they come in different washes. I saw a few. There's like the ripped jean look, and then there's some that are not. There's white, dark denim, lighter denim. It looks really cool.
So it's like the full range of a denim.
If you like it,
campaign
you can
of clothes,
and wanting, and if you, depending on like the style that you prefer and like the look for that day. So I was really excited.
As well as like ripped jeans,
and
non-ripped.
And I did go on Nordstrom.com because I was like, one, I wanted to see if it was sold out, because a lot of times when the Kardashians drop anything, or celebrities in general, it sells out quite quickly.
Definitely.
And especially because she has been marketing and advertising this line for quite some time this year. So people have been waiting for the release and the drop date. So I did actually go online too, because I was like, like maybe I might see something for myself, you know, because I always have that problem with my curves and things like that, and just being more hippie, whatever. But the problem, because there's always a catch with everything that sounds too good to be true, is that the price range. Now, the price range for the jeans, for these Khloe jeans, are
$149 to $200
to a little over 200, like $215, $220. But then you're gonna of course have to add in the tax and the mailing,
that's not
the shipping,
including sales tax
and all of that. So about $150 to about, we could say like $220, $230 is a price range. And so people have been her fans have been tweeting or posting on Instagram in regards to this, because a lot of people were saying that they want to try these jeans because of the fact that she's promoting that it's going to fit a lot better for girls of all shapes and sizes. And then of course people who just love Khloe want to buy into her and support her, as well, just because of who she is.
Yes.
But are not happy with the price range of the jeans, because it's like you want to include everybody because of all the shape sizes wise, but you're not including everybody budget wise.
Yeah. And the problem is with this is the fact that most of the Kardashians fans and their franchise, I would assume, would be more higher middle class people, in a sense. They're not just all these celebrities, prestige people.
I would even go as to say it's low middle class, you know, and aspiring to be them one day, and to work hard to get,
these are working people with,
or just, and like because I know that some college students, you know, and then just people that just have
$200 to throw on one pair of jeans.
And so, and then there is also the argument that, you know, when you buy denim from Nordstrom's, other brands as well, such as True Religion, Seven for All Mankind, Mother jeans as well, those are more expensive, on the more expensive end. But then it's kind of one of those things, because there's not a lot of denim jeans that cater to plus size. Like there's very small selection. There are some select stores that carry it, but then as far as
such as like Fashion Nova and stuff like that,
you know, Torrid is really good. They have
not
a wide
that
range,
expensive, and
this
price range.
And Torrid, I think that their jeans are like around $60-$70, so they're a little bit more pricey, but not. They're under $100.
And then like Fashion Nova and even Levi's jeans, they're ranging between the prices of $40 to $60 as well.
And Fashion Nova,
$30 to $40.
You know, a little Fashion Nova plug, but I mean, Khloe does wear Fashion Nova jeans.
She
and I
promotes
love them.
Fashion Nova.
Yeah, I love Fashion Nova jeans
all the time. So I honestly found it a little interesting when she first came out with her campaign for the specific Just Jean campaign,
right,
when she was promoting Fashion Nova's jeans so much right before. And the fact that you're promoting a different jean for a whole different company that's a lot cheaper in price, maybe not that much even difference in style, and then for you to jump onto something that it's your own project and it being so expensive, is that fans aren't believing that it has the star quality as jeans such as True Religion or even Seven of All Mankind.
Up there
because
in
Seven
comparison.
Jeans, you know, Seven of All Mankind, Seven Jeans, they're not even as a prestigious company and brand as they used to be.
Right.
People don't wear Seven jeans as much as they did in the past.
I think, and
even
like with fast fashion and things like that, more the fashion world, as far as like what people want as like common folk, like the quick fashion, and people want it's called fast fashion, not quick fashion, but fast fashion, and that trends go out of style quickly, and people are always wanting to add more, so people don't like to spend a lot of money. They want to spend under $100 but still get quality material. So you know, but
what I can commend her for her jeans versus like Seven Jeans or True Religion is that they don't all have some really out there label that shows, boom, this is True Religion, boom, this is, like that big old 7 on your butt pocket or the big U on the True Religion. It doesn't have that distinction for her jeans. But I honestly feel like she's going the same route as people like Rihanna do as well sometimes, because Rihanna, when she comes out with her clothing lines, people do buy it, but it is very expensive.
Yeah.
But the difference is between Rihanna's clothing line and then now Khloe's campaign with her jeans is that Rihanna publicizes it to be high fashion and on the runways, it's showing it on New York
Chloe
Fashion
was
Week
trying to do
Paris.
more of a inclusive, everybody can enjoy and partake.
Exactly. So I don't think anybody was expecting it to be $149 to $215 for that one pair of jeans, because she didn't publicize it to be that high fashion. High.
It was more everybody can
exactly. While Rihanna, she publicized her Puma line to be this high fashion thing. So when you go online and you see a crop top for $180, you might have kind of were expecting that because of who she is and how she publicized
the marketing.
How she marketed her new design. But Khloe in my opinion on how I saw it being marketed as a person, I only really saw it on social media. I saw it on her Instagram,
right? But
I didn't see any runways, any other campaigning going for it to make it that high end of a clothing,
right? And I think that is kind of what people, the same sentiment, and I thought it was funny, one of her followers who goes, her Twitter handle is @Oyenda_DS, called Khloe a joker, because she was just like, is this this is a joke, you're playing with us, because you're telling us all of us can wear these jeans and fit these jeans, but clearly not all of us will be able to wear these jeans and fit these jeans.
Most of us won't be able to buy these jeans,
right? And so that's kind of that. I don't know, I'm still kind of intrigued. I personally would have to try on the jeans because to decide whether or not they're worth it, because sometimes,
but they're only exclusively sold mostly online, and then certain Nordstrom, then you have to go with the hassle, hard to find them. They're too exclusive at the same time.
And so I am intrigued. I will say that, just because I would want to find that perfect fit of jeans. But then, like I said, I do love Fashion Nova jeans, and those are pretty good. I never really have had any jeans from Fashion Novas that I was like, or like they didn't fit quite right. So, I mean, that's just me. But anyway, so we're going to take it to a quick break. And when we come back, we want to discuss some drama in our girl Mary J. Blige's life. No more drama in my life. Like, I mean, she had a song. She was telling y'all she didn't want it. And then also some just some ridiculousness with Tyga, of course, as well as some American crime excitement that we have to talk about. FX's American Crime Show. So we will be right back.
Tired of searching the vast jungle of podcasts? Now listen close and hear this out. There's a podcast network that covers just about everything that you've been searching. Hey! The Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network is here. Nothing less than a podcast bliss with endless hours of podcast coverage. From news, sports, music, fashion, cooking, entertainment, fantasy, football, and so much more. So stop lurking around and go straight out to the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network. Guaranteed to fill that podcast itch. Whatever it may be. Visit us at www.gsmcpodcast.com. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and download us on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Google Play.
Welcome back to the Golden State Media Concepts Entertainment Podcast. And since we got to talk about our man Tyga, since we just ended it with Khloe, a different Kardashian add-on over here.
He's a add-on.
They have so many of them. He is definitely a plus one.
He's a plus one.
So he has recently been in court. We talked about in the past that he was going to have to go into court, into answering how he gets his money, how he's able to necessarily get all these special gifts for Kylie, and where is his business and what is he doing. So he recently was in court, and when judges started asking him about his money spending habits and how he was getting them, where they were coming from,
right,
the rapper, he just mysteriously became ill.
He got sick. He couldn't. He got confused. He was just feeling just terrible.
Yes.
And it was interesting, I think, because before they started questioning him as far as like where he's getting his money and like these gifts, he was fine and was able to discuss what he owns, like his income. He had no problem discussing and answering any other questions. But then when it got to the part where they started questioning, okay, well, what about the gifts, the lavish gifts? Because you clearly have enough money to be buying these gifts. Where are you getting that money from?
Because he's in this lawsuit with the Jason of Beverly Hills jewelers. So that's the original problem, because of him not paying for a watch, I believe. But now it's like we've seen all over social media of how he's getting Kylie the ring. Right. They bought each other cars. Right. Where exactly is that money coming from? Because he put out maybe one new song, but where is his other revenue of money coming from?
Where are you making these coins?
Yeah, and I just found it very interesting that he was completely fine, just up until they started asking him, right, how are you getting these things for Kylie though? Where is that coming from? Was that the problem, that he potentially didn't want her to even find out where he was getting it from? Because court documents become public record. Right. And, you've been lying to your girlfriend saying you've been able to do this. You know, you've been getting the money. And it's interesting,
too, because it was also stated by TMZ that before... So the hearing was rescheduled. They're going to put it off until November 1st. But then that even though he was like confused and wasn't able, and had asked for for them to continue the hearing at a different date, like to get it rescheduled, he did mention that he didn't get Kylie those items. And I'm telling you, I honestly think she's buying it for herself.
Yeah, because all over social media she's displaying that's why I'm saying that he didn't want it to come out on public record, because if he's telling his lawyer in some means, well, I didn't buy her those gifts, but she's all over social media displaying that it's from him, and he's on her social media as well, acting like it's from him. Right. That just shows like I agree with you, Pauline. Like, she is buying it for herself. It's very obvious and display where she's getting her money from. She just launched a new makeup kit last night, so she's making her dough. She's making her money. She's buying $1 billion houses. She has 3 of them already that she bought this year, 2 or 3. So it's very obvious that she has the money coming in. She still gets money from the Kardashian shows. She's on their record. Her and Kendall are launching a book as well. Another one. So they're launching another book. They have their own clothing line. Yep. They have a lot of different things. So it's obvious, and it would seem so that Kylie would have the money to pay for it. Yeah. But the fact that now Tyga's being asked, it just raises a lot of question on why all of a sudden you got confused, ill, and you lost your memory all of a sudden, when they started asking you about the gifts from Kylie. Right. So she is now also reported to be, like you said, it's going to be postponed to November 1st. But she is also scheduled to come in for her own separate interview as well. And this is just going to become a problem in regards to, especially since he's being sued on other finances, that you can't now go and commit perjury on yourself in the court of law. You have to now state the truth, because now you just look like a liar and you just look bad. You can't. Yeah, so it's going to be kind of interesting. Yeah, if Kylie's going to be on the stand, now what is she now going to? It's going to become a very big media problem in TMZ. All the media outlets are going to definitely pick this up. Daily News, everything, because it's been a question. It's been something funny to talk about. The fact that potentially Tyga didn't have the money to give these gifts to Kylie because it was such a scandal when they got together in the first place. Right. But if it becomes public record that Tyga doesn't have this money, that's going to become such a scandal for his brand. Not his brand, just her brand as well as the brand of the Kardashians. For all we know, it's going to be played we already out know these girls are funding way. All these dudes. We know it. Well, I think Kanye has the money, though. Okay, Kanye. He's Kanye. Shipping y'all to Italy and back. Kanye. He has the money for sure. That's about it. At the end of the day, there must be some type of their publicist has to be on point, because if this is going to be now a media outbreak and things are going to be on court, and now it's going to potentially be played out on the show, people are going to be asking questions, how are they going to spin this around to look good on themselves that Tyga was the one that didn't have the money?
Momager got it.
For sure.
Kris Jenner, she got this. So speaking of relationship and money woes, when we come back from this break, we want to talk to you guys about our girl Mary. She's going through a divorce, but then it's just getting stickier and stickier as time goes by.
He was supposed to be her rock, or something,
something.
Man.
And so we're going to tell you what soon to be Mary J's ex
and another man potentially taking his woman's money.
And then also, I guess guys just be taking their girls' money no matter what the age, no matter what the status.
They be the sugar mamas.
But and then we want to talk to you about FX's American Crime Story. So keep it logged here. You're listening to the Golden State Media Concepts Entertainment Podcast. We will be right back.
Want to find out what movies to go see? Then check out the GSMC Movie Podcast. It's your ticket to the latest movies, whether it's a new blockbuster event, romantic, comedy, or action flick. This show has got it all covered. They talk some what to go see now. Don't bother. What's hot on Netflix and everything in between. That's gsmcpodcast.com/movie-podcast. When it's all about the movies, it has to be this new show. Don't forget to like them on Facebook and follow them on Twitter. Visit gsmcpodcast.com for more info.
Welcome back to the Golden State Media Concepts Entertainment Podcast. We're getting ready to wrap it up, but we wanted to talk to you guys about another sugar mama who's not gonna be a sugar mama no more. She and honestly,
and she ain't even a sugar mama.
Yeah,
she just married.
So Mary J. And her soon-to-be ex-husband, Mr. Kendu Isaacs, they have recently filed for divorce after 13 years together, and they so she's also fired him as her manager as well. So she's done. Which that alone is sad. After 13 years of marriage, that is sad. When anybody's marriage ends in divorce, that's very sad.
Yeah, and during their 13 year of marriage, apparently they've been living this very luxurious lifestyle that he does not want to end. Yes,
and rightfully so. When you're living one way, you don't want it to end. But instead of deciding to pick up a new person to manage or to get a new job or to do something else with his life, he has decided to want to zap as much money as he can from Miss Mary. So, and it's really interesting because this whole entire situation is just sad and sticky because he's asking for about roughly $130,000 in spousal support from Mary. The
question is exactly what would he do with this money, and what exactly are you?
So some of the stuff we wanted to share, some of the things that he is asking money for. So he's asking for $5,000 in child support, and I believe this is monthly.
And for those that don't know exactly their relationship and who they are to each other, he was her manager before getting married, as well as she recently fired him as her manager when they filed for a divorce.
Right. So he's out of a job.
So exactly. So not only was she potentially paying him as well as an employee, that was her husband. Yeah. So he's always used to getting money from her. Honestly.
Especially when you put it like that. Yeah.
He is.
Yeah. And so so $5,000 in child support for two kids that his two kids from a previous relationship.
Because Mary has never had any kids of her own.
$7,000 in rent, $1,000 for new clothes, like allowances, so he can keep up his clothes.
Yeah.
$8,000 for a private chef. $3,200 for a personal trainer. First of all,
you better go find a more cheaper trainer.
First of all, if you don't go take a sprint outside, And if you don't learn how to cook something,
you don't get yourself a 24-hour fitness membership.
Why am I going to pay for you to look good to try to pull another honey? No, not I, said the cat. And
$5,000 he pays his parents each month. So now she's not just paying for him. She's paying for
her to continue funding his family.
Yes, 100%, his kids and his parents.
Yeah, you know, and Mary, she's so kind because clearly she was paying this for them.
In some means, yeah. You know, since this is what he's become accustomed
rent
to.
On his other properties that he has, attorney fees. You either got to get a different attorney or you got to learn how to get. Because I'm not going to
pay $100,000 for your attorney because we're getting divorced.
Yes.
No,
boo, not I.
And then $71,000 in rent he owns on other properties, like you were saying. But like, those are your houses, sir.
Because you clearly need.
Is my name on those houses anymore?
Hello. So, and I was thinking when I was reading through this,
he still wants her to give over $21,000 for his charities, which is kind and whatnot. But I understand that. She technically, maybe he did have all this money before him. For all we know, his paycheck was this big from her.
Sure.
But if you are a manager and you're good at what you do, 1, Mary should not have been your only client.
Hello.
2, go find you some new clients.
Yes.
Go get you a job.
But it really blew my mind. The allowance for new clothes, the private chef, and the trainer.
Yes.
That's luxury. Like you don't have to get new clothes each month, boo. And you can learn how to cook.
Yes.
You could watch TV and learn how to cook. You could YouTube how to cook. You could pick up a book how to cook. You should have paid attention more instead of getting fat and lazy and just like living that luxurious lifestyle. And if
mind you, it's like, were you managing outside. Really? Were you could buy a bike
and right. And so unfortunately
the list does go on from this, because when they originally did get married, Kendu and Mary J. Blige, they did sign a prenuptial agreement waiving spousal the fact support. That he can get spousal support.
So they signed a prenup.
Yeah, but what he is trying to now say, because they signed it originally in December 2003,
right?
But what he is trying to now say is that prenup should be considered invalid because he didn't have a lawyer present at the time and she did.
Right.
But my thing is, this is your name. You signed it. As a person, you have the right to seek legal counsel, and if you don't, that is your right and your prerogative. You can't now say, well, I didn't know 13 years later.
Right. And she's already given him $85,000 since filing the divorce.
And 2 different spousal support payments.
So, which they're saying is her, it might show that she believes that the prenup is invalid as well.
Yeah, that he's trying to say that she believed it was
and use it against her.
But I honestly think, like what you were saying before, she's being a nice person, and the fact that if their money from her was supporting their life, like even though it was their money, quote unquote, but it was her money she was bringing in and it supported their lifestyle. I think just as a woman, as a family woman, if you've now brought yourself into his kids' life, made them your kids as well, made his parents your parents, because Mary J. Blige did have a harder lifestyle of dealing with drugs, and so I don't exactly know the means of what the relationship she has with the rest of her family, but that doesn't give him the right to take and use her this way, because just because she is willing to say, okay, I'm going to give you this money to help, that's $85,000. He's still asking for $150,000, and usually in like spousal support type of situations,
on your own to support yourself.
Exactly.
Like, were you just mooching?
And you're expecting her to pay you this amount monthly? Like, this is just...
And your manager skills were not all that, because when was the last time you seen Mary doing something? So you clearly wasn't putting more money in her pockets in recent years.
Exactly what I was going to say.
And you're just taking. But I don't know. So hopefully this will get resolved, and that she will not be forced to be paying this crazy amount of money so that this man can just be eating. Lavish, literally just eating. So we do want to, before we wrap up this episode, discuss on some more exciting news, some lighter news. So FX American. Okay, excuse me. So the network FX. Excuse me.
They're bringing back their series, show, yes, American Crime Story,
which I love. So if you're not familiar with American Crime Story, you have, I'm sure, heard about it.
The O.J. Simpson trial. That
it
show.
was the People versus O.J. Simpson. They took 10 Emmy Awards this past year as well. So in some way, you've heard
they
it.
pretty much had mostly 10 episodes.
Yeah, and so which was exciting and shed new light on the trial and did like a whole background in leading up to the trial and like the history and the meeting of O.J. Simpson and Nicole. And so I liked it because I liked how deep they dived into the story. I really, really did. And so they have recently been approved and rightfully right after the O.J. Simpson series for a season number 2 where they are going to be focusing on about 6 to 8 victims of Hurricane Katrina.
Yes.
And how that disaster changed their lives dramatically, and they're going to be chronologically they're going to be following their life of these New Orleans natives. And then, but the cool thing that we wanted to share is that, so that hasn't even started production yet.
No.
But they have already been approved for a season 3.
Yes.
Which is going to be on Gianni Versace's murder in his villa in Miami that happened in 1997.
Yeah.
So,
that villa, the Versace villa in Miami is tremendously,
yes,
it's amazing
it's
to go
beautiful.
inside.
Yes. And so it's really exciting.
So I hope they shoot there.
They are going to definitely have. So Katrina in the season 2 is going to be entitled Katrina, and that is of course going to air first, and then the Versace story is going to happen after. But they are going to start filming for both seasons at the same time. They're going to be doing that like right away. They're going to start that at the same time.
Because they're completely different storylines.
Exactly. So you can do it for production at the same time. And so, which I think is going to be really cool because those are 2 stories that, and I'm really excited to see the Katrina season and how deep they were going to dive into
and
that,
how
and the
much
before, during,
play
after,
into real factual information.
Yes, and all the things that they're going to unveil and parts of the story that I think some people, I like that they do a really good job of not really playing sides. They're just giving straight facts and just telling what it is that's happening, and you kind of decide on your own how you felt about O.J. Simpson. And they were showing other background stories and having so many people. I just really enjoyed what they did with that, and they humanized all the characters that were a part of that story, not just OJ, not just Nicole.
Exactly. The lawyers, everyone involved.
Yeah.
And I like the fact that what they're doing now with it being called American Crime Story, because it being like American crime, there's so many different things that happen in American history per se. So I like the fact that they're now changing the story completely, even though it being based on the same show. It kind of reminds me of like American Horror Story.
New.
You know, it's
a
different concept.
Yes. And so that's going to be really interesting. I don't know when they are. I think it's going to be set to sometime in 2017.
Yeah, it's going to be around like the springtime, I believe.
Oh, so not too far off. So if you haven't seen the People versus O.J. Simpson, I definitely believe that you should check that one out. It is something that you would have to watch. I feel it took me a while to watch the entire series because
I recorded it on DVD.
I had to record it, and I never felt that I had enough time because I wanted to watch all of them back to back to back. And so it is a very interesting story. And so, like I said, Katrina is up next, as well as following the murder of Gianni Versace. So that's going to do it for this episode of the podcast. You can find us on our network website. That's GSMCpodcast.com. You can listen to this episode again, as well as any future or previous episodes that you may be interested in, as well as listen to us on iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, and Stitcher. I'm Pauline.
And I'm Taejha.
And we'll talk to you guys next time.
You've been listening to the Golden State Media Concepts Entertainment Podcast. part of the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network. You can find this show and others like it at www.gsmcpodcast.com. Download our podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, and Google Play. Just type in GSMC to find all the shows from the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network. From movies to music, from sports to entertainment, and even weird news. You can also follow us on Twitter and on Facebook. Thank you, and we hope you have enjoyed today's program.